On their way back from the hilltop, Rick and his group encounter some of the saviors. Their leader announces all of them as Negan, and unlike the folks from Hilltop, their deal is not half of the supplies, but all of them. Rick decides to give them everything they have by quickly and brutally killing all of them but one, so he can deliver a message. At this point in the story, Rick believes that his group can deal with any threats and sees himself as almost unstoppable. However, he may be underestimating this new threat. Back at home, everything seems to be going well with the discovery of this friendly community, and Rick even starts to see a future ahead. Eugene and Abraham leave the settlement in search for a place where Eugene believes he can potentially start the production of ammunition. As Abraham talks about how he cheated on Rosita but still cares for her, a bolt flies directly into the back of his head, piercing his eye. The saviors are back once again. Dwight, a man with burns across the entirety of the left side of his face, captures Eugene and takes him to Alexandria to once again impose Negan's demands. Rick, of course, still stands his ground, and as Eugene bites Dwight's crotch in order to create a distraction, the Alexandrians start firing and manage to kill more of their men, putting them on the run. Not knowing how to proceed, they all debate and end up deciding to go to the hilltop to inform them of what has transpired. Glenn also informs everyone that Maggie is pregnant and that they've all decided to live at the hilltop. They gather a small group and leave. On the road, in the middle of the night.
Mike, call Negan and the rest.
What the?
You could maybe kill a few of us, but I wouldn't.
Oh, baby! We're pissing our pants yet? Oh boy, do I have a feeling we're getting close. It's gonna be pee-pee pants city here real soon. Which one of you pricks is the leader?
It's this one. He's the guy.
Hi. Rick, isn't it? I'm Negan, and I do not appreciate you killing my men. Also, when I sent my men to kill your men for killing my men, you kill more of my men. Not cool. Not fucking cool. You've got no fucking idea how not fucking cool that shit is. But I imagine you'll be up to speed shortly. Yeah. You're gonna so regret crossing me in a few minutes. Fuck yes you will! You see, Rick, whatever you do, no matter fucking what, you do not mess with the New World Order. The New World Order is this, and it's very simple. So even if you're fucking stupid, which you may very well be, you can understand it. Ready? Here goes. Pay attention. Give me your shit, or I will kill you. You work for me now. You have shit, you give it to me. That's your job. I know it's a mighty fucking big nasty pill to swallow, but swallow it you most certainly motherfucking will. You ruled the roost. You built something. You thought you were safe. I get it. But the word is out. You are not safe. Not even fucking close. In fact, you're fucked, and you're even more fucked if you don't give me what I want. And what I want is half your shit. If that's too much, just make, find, or steal more and it'll all even out eventually. This is your way of life now. The more you fight back, the harder it's gonna be. Next time someone comes to your door, you fucking let us in. We own that door. You try to stop us? We'll fucking knock it the fuck down, understand? No answer? Well, you didn't think you were gonna get through this without getting punched now, did you? Line them up. On your knees.
Don't fucking move.
I don't want to kill any of you. Let me make that clear right from the get-go. I want you working for me. And you can't very well do that if you're dead now, can you? I'm not growing a garden, but you killed my men. A fucking whole goddamn lot of them. More than I feel comfortable with. For that, you gotta fucking pay. So I'm now going to beat the holy fucking fuckity fuck out of one of you, my bat, who I call Lucille. Lucille has barbed wire wrapped around the end of her. It's fucking awesome. So it's really only a matter of picking which one of you gets the honor.
Mommy?
Oh, that's just precious. My little heart is breaking. A mother and her child. Especially when the mother is way too hot to have a child that old. No way I can kill you. What's the story on this future serial killer? Shit, fuck kid, lighten up. At least cry a little. I can't kill you before your story ends. Too fucking interesting. And not you. I'm a lot of things, but I never want to be called a racist. No fucking way. You're off limits. Same race card. My. There's a lot of things I'd like to do to you. And killing you is at the absolute fucking bottom of that list. Still on it though. You. How stupid do you think I am? You're practically invincible. You're missing a fucking hand for fuck's sake. And you're their leader? What have these people seen you live through? I bet they fucking worship you. I'm not turning you into a martyr. The name of the game is breaking you in front of them. I'll slide my dick down your throat and make you thank me for it. Then they'll all fall in line. I simply cannot fucking decide. I've got an idea. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. My mother told me to pick the very best one. And you are it. Bring him up. Maggie.
No, please!
Don't do this.
You can't!
You have 50 fucking men surrounding you. 50! Sit the fuck down right now or you all die. Anyone moves at all, cut the boy's other fucking eye and feed it to the girl. You can breathe. You can blink.
Rick?
You can cry. You'll all be doing that.
Please. Please don't.
Holy shit! He's taking it like a champ! Are you in there, buddy? I just don't know. It seems like you're trying to speak, but you just took one hell of a hit. I cracked your skull so much your fucking eye popped out. It's gross as shit. I don't think...
Maggie!
You bunch of fucking pussies. I'm just getting started. Lucille is thirsty. Lucille's a vampire bat. What? Was the joke that bad?
I'm going to kill you.
I'm sorry. I didn't quite catch that. Speak up.
Not today, not tomorrow, but I will kill you.
No, you won't. Your best fucking chance is right now. Stand up and put a knife into my throat, drive an axe into my face. Go ahead. The moment my body hits the floor, my saviors will fucking fuck you people up until your insides are outsides. Worse than your little Asian friend for sure. In fact, you want to keep acting tough like I still need to break you? And I'll have a few of my boys run a train on your boy. Got at least a few that'd be into that sort of thing. Want to test me? Well, do you? I know this is hard for you.
You've been the king shit motherfucker for so damn long, bossing people around, being in charge for so long, you're probably addicted to it. Hell, you probably thought you had this world figured out. Managing the dead, gathering supplies. Might have even been a long time since someone died before we came along. Working together. That's all over now. Done. Gone. Dead. It's time for something new. Everything has changed, Rick. Things are gonna be different from now on. You're entering into a whole new world. It didn't have to be such a painful birth. You made it that way. I just hope for your fucking sake you finally realize how things work and where you stand in all of this. Things have changed, Rick. Whatever you had going for you, that's over. You answer to me. You provide for me. You belong to me. Welcome to a brand new beginning, you sorry fucks. We'll be coming for your first offering in 1 week. Until then, ta-ta.
Everyone is devastated. They start arguing and fighting between each other. Simply one of the most traumatizing events of their lives. Negan crushed their spirits and gave a demonstration of what he's all about. An extremely violent and seemingly untouchable man. Something to fear. They make their trip to the hilltop and confront them with what has happened. Apparently, no one knew the extent of their forces, or even if Negan existed. Maggie decides to bury Glenn and live here with Sophia to follow Glenn's last wishes. Back in Alexandria, things aren't looking good either, as the Saviors coordinate a simultaneous attack there too. Andrea and the other Alexandras fended them off and have even captured one. After a lot of thinking, Rick decides to do the hard thing. He decides not to fight back, follow their demands, and back down. He is terrified of what he has experienced and what this could all mean for the future. He releases Dwight to the dismay of his people, however, tells Jesus to follow him and find out everything he can about Negan, but to keep this a secret because he needs everyone in the dark about his true plans. Rick can't hide to Andrea very long that he intends to deal with Negan, but he needs the people of Alexandria showing they're afraid and submissive whenever the Saviors show up, so a true attack can be formed in secret. Negan decides to make his first appearance in Alexandria.
My men are gonna split up, search the houses a bit, speed this process along. While they're at it, I just want to point out that they're not taking a scrap of your food. It's slim pickings in there. And I can't be the only one to notice. You've got the fat lady in charge of keeping track of rations, can I? Regardless, if you starve to death, I don't get shit. So for now, your food stays with you.
What do you want me to say?
How about a fucking thank you? You think that might be in order? Listen, prick, I know we started off on the wrong foot. I didn't want to kill your friend. You forced my fucking hand. I'm actually quite reasonable if you just fucking cooperate.
I'll believe it when I see it.
You should all go home before you learn just how dangerous we all are. Pardon me, young man, and fucking excuse the shit out of my goddamn French. But did you just threaten me? That sounded like a threat. But I like to be damn sure when it comes to those kinds of things. Carl, go back to the house. Now! I'm in the middle of a fucking conversation here. Don't be rude. Now, boy, where were we? Oh yeah, you were giant fucking man-sized balls. I might not have heard you clearly. What were you saying again? That's better. Now listen to your daddy and run the fuck along. Cute kid.
As Negan leaves, we see a little someone snuck into his truck and plans on dealing with the situation himself. Jesus is captured in his mission of following Dwight, but is still led to their base, the Sanctuary, a massive industrial complex surrounded by a horde of zombies held in place by chains and spikes. Jesus gets away, but as they unload the supplies from Alexandria, Carl opens fire with his automatic rifle.
Stay back!
What the fucking fuck?
I only want Negan. He killed my friend. Turn him over to me, and I'll let the rest of you live. I've seen the weapons you use. I know you don't have a lot of guns. No one else needs to die.
God damn, you're adorable. Did you pick that gun because it looks cool? You totally fucking did, didn't you? It's almost twice your size. Kid, I'm not gonna lie to you. You scared the fucking shit out of me. You little fuck! I'll kill you! Dwight! Back the fuck off! You're gonna beat a little defenseless child? Is that any way to treat our new guest?
As Negan enters, his people kneel to his presence like he's some form of royalty. He immediately goes to his harem of wives to deal with the problem. Essentially, one of his wives decided to cheat on him, but surprisingly, he says that her position as his wife is voluntary and that she can leave at any moment to be with her old husband again, only needing to forfeit her privileges. However, she decides to stay with him, and because of that, there needs to be punishment. Negan doesn't get physical or do anything to his wives. The punishment will be with the man involved.
Close the door.
Are they all your...
Wives? Yeah. I always wanted to be able to fuck a whole bunch of women. So why settle with just one? I see no reason to follow the old boring rules. Let's make life better. Why not? Wait. You know what fucking is, right?
Yeah, kind of. Sex stuff.
Not going there. No fucking way. Let's get started.
Start on what?
I like to get to know you a little better, Carl. First, I want to tell you how motherfucking smart you are, just in case you don't already know. You're what, 12? Who cares? I'd expect a kid your age to be running away trying to get out, having my people chase you all over this mill, but you stayed right with me. I barely had to look at you. Because you knew that if you fucked something else up, I'd chase you down and break your little kid neck. Right? Doesn't matter. You killed 5 or 6 of my men just now. So many I didn't even get a good fucking count. This can't go unpunished. So, you know what? Stop. I can't go on like this. It's like talking to a fucking birthday present. Take that shit off your face. I gotta see what Grandma got me.
No.
6 men. Punishment. Really want to piss me off? That's better. Almost there. Fucking Christ, man. No wonder you covered that shit up. You look disgusting. Have you seen it? I mean, have you looked in a mirror? I wouldn't blame you if you hadn't. It's fucking gross. I can see your fucking eye socket. Your goddamn skull is exposed. Now I want to touch it. Can I touch it? Well? Oh, damn. Look. Holy shit, kid. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to... It's easy to forget you're just a kid. I wasn't trying to hurt your feelings or anything. This isn't what I... No shit. I never do that. I guess a kid firing a machine gun is a hell of a distraction. All joking aside, you look rad as fuck. I wouldn't cover that shit up. Won't be a hit with the ladies, but won't anyone fuck with you looking like that? No, sir.
Negan says he wishes he didn't have to do what he's about to do, but there are rules and they must be followed. As everyone chants, the rules keep us alive. The punishment for not following this rule is an extremely hot iron straight to the face, melting and permanently disfiguring one so that it could serve as a reminder to everyone to follow rules. If we remind ourselves of the prison and the words Rick spoke about punishment to crimes, we see that they are very similar to Negan's, and really analyzing this man, we see that just like Rick, he is very complex and not your typical psycho tyrant. Yes, his killing of Glenn was brutal, and having multiple wives seems very off, but he's very clear as to it being voluntary. And in the future, it's going to be even more clear how much he despises the act of forcing oneself upon women. He also only punished Mark for not following rules. Amber and Mark could have easily been together, and no harm would have ever happened, but each of them made choices that led to this. As crazy of an asshole as he may seem on the surface, he seems somewhat reasonable. He values respect and the guts to do the hard things, like with Carl's attempt on his life. With Jesus' help, Rick goes after his son, only to meet Negan in the middle of the way. Negan taunts Rick and they fight, but he brought Carl intact to show how reasonable he can be, also pointing out not killing Rick nor any of his friends present for having attacked him. He doubles down on how he doesn't like these unpleasantries and takes no joy in them, but they're necessary for establishing boundaries and rules. Back home, Eugene found the place he wanted and is confident he could start producing ammunition. However, Rick is still telling his people to submit. With all this new information, Jesus decides this is the time to introduce another player in the game. A new group is introduced, the Kingdom and their leader King Ezekiel and his tiger Shiva. Aside from the dramatics, Ezekiel is willing to offer his aid in the battle against the Saviors, as he too is desperate to be rid of Negan. Dwight is also present at this meeting, and even if Rick doesn't trust him at first, he clearly has reasons to hate Negan, promising he'll do his part in ending Negan's reign of oppression. Every settlement starts to mobilize fighters for the coming battles and plans start to be made. But in the middle of all this, Negan decides to visit Alexandria.
Now where the hell did my manners go? What the fuck do you want, Spencer?
Actually, I want to talk to you about Rick.
What about him?
I understand what you're trying to do, to build here, with all these people. I can't say I agree with all your methods, but I get it. You're building a network, and you're making people work together, contribute to a greater good. It all makes sense. Rick Grimes is not someone who works well with others. I'm just warning you. Rick wasn't originally the leader here. It was my father, and he was doing a much better job of it. Rick came along with his group and really wrecked things for us here. He's a maniac. That's the best way to put it. He may even want to work with you, but I'm telling you, this guy cannot be the boss. He's gotta be in charge. Otherwise, his ego drives him nuts.
Is that so? Well, what do you propose?
Well, I am my father's son. I think I can be the leader he was. I think that's what we need. What you need.
So what? I kill him? Put you in charge? That what you're saying?
We'd be much better off.
You've given me a lot to think about. Walk with me, Spencer. I'm thinking, and I think about how Rick fucking threatened to kill me. How he clearly hates my fucking guts. But he's out there right now, like a busy fucking bee, gathering shit to give me so that I don't hurt any of the nice folks living here. He's swallowing that hatred to get shit done. That takes guts. Then I think about you, Spencer, the guy who waited until Rick was gone to sneak over to talk to me, to get me to do his dirty work so that he could take Rick's place. You want to take over? Why didn't you just kill Rick and take the fuck over? You know why?
I didn't.
Because you have no guts.
Oh, how embarrassing! There they are! They were inside you the whole time!
You did have guts! I've never been so wrong before in my life! Clean this up before a kid sees it, and find out where this asshole lived. I want to play some pool!
Even though Spencer wanted to overthrow him, Rick is not happy with what happened, but decides to just let Negan take half of their supplies. This is also when he decided was the moment to attack. This is the beginning of the all-out war. The war consists of back and forwards between both sides, a lot of destruction, and a big bloodbath. Some of the most noteworthy moments are Negan killing one of his men who tried to rape a prisoner, Maggie punching Gregory and empowering the hilltop, Shiva's sacrifice to save her master, and Negan bombarding Alexandra with grenades. Rick is confident that they will win once he sees all the communities waiting to fend off the Saviors for one last time at the hilltop. But Negan brings a strategy of soaking their weapons in zombie gunk to essentially make every wound inflicted a death sentence. It's another bloodbath, but Negan is confident of his victory as Dwight manages to injure Rick. So he waits out until the deadly fevers take effect. As many died to their infected wounds, Rick surprisingly was unaffected.
Surprised? Dwight! This better be a fucking ghost!
Don't look at him, look at me.
Oh, I'm looking at you. You're limping. You're moving slow, Rick. You've seen better days for fucking sure. You might even be on your last legs. Let's call it a day. Let things go back to the way they were. That way, I can go home to fuck a wife or two, and you can go back into recovery. You look like hell.
Let me put this in words you understand.
Fuck you.
Rick tries to explain the bigger picture to Negan, how they should all be working together instead of killing each other, and he actually managed to make him realize the errors of his ways. As Negan starts acknowledging how he was wrong and starts seeing things differently, Rick slices his throat and announces that a doctor will save his life as long as the Saviors surrender and let them take him. Negan still puts up a little fight, even managing to break Rick's leg, but before more Saviors arrive and continue fighting, Dwight takes Lucille, raises it in the air, and declares the end of the war. A doctor rushes to the aid of Rick, but he orders him to save Negan's life instead, even if it meant permanent damage to his leg. Everyone wants to decide what to do with Negan, and to everyone's surprise, Rick does not want to kill him. He believes he'll be no better than him if he does. This is the way they got here, killing those who meant them harm. But this is an opportunity to rebuild society as it was, but in a better way. He tells Negan they're going to rebuild, and he's going to keep him alive, just to make him watch them thrive. He'll see how much he was holding them back, all while rotting in a cell until he dies an old man. Negan is the bully who thinks he has the biggest dick and therefore will threaten and beat others into submission. However, he still protects and provides for his people, even if it's at the cost of others. He has morals and boundaries, even if they include bashing someone's brains in front of their friends and loved ones. He found a way to get by and acted mostly to the benefit of his people, something Rick is all too familiar with. They in some ways are very alike. However, Rick's decision to let him live really sets him apart, as he's learning from all the savagery of this world and wants not only to rebuild society, but also make it better than before. This point of the story truly cements that dealing with the dead was never the true difficulty. The true horrors of this world was always dealing with the living. The next part of the story picks up a few years after the events of the war, where we are introduced to a small group of survivors led by a woman named Magma, who are stranded on top of a truck, but before they all become zombie lunch, Paul, aka Jesus, saves some of them from a massive herd. We also learn that this herd was actually being led by Eugene and his crew. Basically, he found a way to use horse riders to bunch up hordes and manipulate them away from their settlements, something that has greatly improved the security in their territory. Rick has a new hand prosthetic, walks with a cane because of his leg injury, and decided to change up his look to avoid being recognized as the man responsible for what they've achieved. Alexandria has turned into a large, fruitful, and safe community. Aside from the herd steering, Eugene also brought many technological advancements such as a functioning mill to the community. With all this progress, Rick's newest challenge is dealing with his teenage son.
Can we talk now? I was gonna make dinner, or do you want to eat at the hall? Mom's not back yet. We can talk later if you need. No, I've put it off long enough. Let's do it now before you chicken out. You know what I'm gonna ask? I've got a pretty good idea, and fair warning, if I'm right, I'm fully prepared to argue against it. You're too young. Mikey's already apprenticing at the mill and he's a year younger than me. You always say learning a trade is important. Well, I want to be a blacksmith. I want to make tools, weapons. I want to be important. You can work at the mill. Eugene will teach you to make bullets. That's good. I know you like Earl Sutton, but son, no. Okay? Just no. Why, Dad? At the very least, you can explain to me why. I can't let you live at the hilltop, Carl. It's just too far. You know I can take care of myself. I've proven that over and over and over. You can't keep treating me like I'm just some kid. Maybe it's me. Maybe it makes me feel safer to have you here. Oh, that's bullshit! Carl, calm down. And... damn it. You're right, okay? You're older now, capable, and things are more safe. The world is. And I need to recognize that. This is very hard for me, and you're my son, and I'll think about it. Yeah, that's fair. Cool. You'll think about it. Okay.
Andrea's officially a member of the Grimes family, and often Carl goes to a dark basement to get girl advice and vent to the one and only prisoner Negan. They have talks that make Negan's incarceration easier, but Carl doesn't see him as a friend. Rick eventually decides to let Carl live at the hilltop, and we get to see that they've established trade routes between the communities, with guards patrolling and taking care of zombie threats. But 2 of these guards were running from a horde and got stranded in a ditch. They hid whilst it passed above them, but there was something off about this one. They could hear noises, weird sounds coming from the dead. Whispers. At the hilltop, we see everything is thriving there too. Maggie now has Herschel. People there also see Rick as a famous hero, and semblances of city-like structures are really starting to show. One of the lost guards shows up terrified, reporting the whispers he heard and how he believed that the dead were speaking, but is ultimately just dismissed as some form of crazy. Before Rick's departure, we see bullying has made its comeback as well, but thankfully kids like Sophia grew up with better moral compasses. Things have finally started to get good, with community roasts, family sunsets, kids getting their first jobs, and getting to live through teenage love. But unfortunately, there is still some bad lurking out there.
Not many left. Maybe only one more round. We got this. Just let them come to us. Now! 1 step! 1 step! 2 steps!
They're good. Very good.
Did you guys hear that? Hear what? 4 steps! 4 steps! What? There's only a few left. Let's wrap this up. Oh shit! 5 steps! 5 steps! Back into position! What? There's only 4 of them left! Regroup! That one has a knife! Calm down, we've seen them hold tools before. They tried to cut me! That's impossible! 1 step! Let's end this before more of them come! Holy fuck! What is it? They have knives! They're attacking us! Just fucking run! The hell? Ah! No! I heard you! I know you can talk!
We can kill.
Ah! Die! What the hell are you? How can you talk?
We whisper and the dead don't mind. You'll see. You'll be dead soon yourself. Then you'll see. They were talking. They were talking. Oh my God! Oh God!
Paul takes a group to rescue the missing people, but is instead followed and ambushed by zombie-wielding knives. In his true action hero way, he takes care of both the normal and speaking type of dead, but decides to spare a wounded girl who pleads for her life, taking her back to the hilltop for questioning. She reviews that her group uses the dead skin to travel amongst them, to be protected by them, and starts rambling about how they're like a cult who think that the only option available in the world is to be one with the dead. She already lays the groundwork for the ideology they abide by, expressing that things like childhood was a myth brought by the illusion of safety, a luxury of the old world, and the reality is that we're all just animals living in the wild. They are basically people who decided to wear the face and skin of the dead to walk amongst them and communicate through whispers as to not alert them. They leave her in a cell, and whilst all of this was happening, the bullies attacked and almost killed Sophia, which prompted Carl to fight back, who ended up almost killing them, landing him in prison, where he got a chance to talk to Lydia, the 16-year-old whisperer next door. Even after Carl is released, he comes back to talk to her and share more information about their ways of life, building trust and a bond between them, making him the only person she would talk to, even being allowed to take her out to show her the community, where we get to see that she views him in a different way to everyone else, something that grows their bond even further. Gregory, the former Hilltop leader, proposes to the parents of the boys Carl hospitalized to kill Maggie, because ever since she took his position, he has tried tirelessly to put the people against her so he could take control. He managed to serve her a poisoned drink, but Paul arrives just in time to rescue her, and before she can even properly recover, she is called to an emergency. Alpha, the leader of the Whisperers, has come to propose a prisoner exchange. Carl objects to letting Lydia go back to her mom and those savages, but even after having expressed not wanting to go back to her people, she decides to do the right thing and go. Although Carl appears to have let it go, it doesn't take long for him to pack up and follow after them. The Whisperers do find him lurking behind them and surprisingly decide to let him join them for the time being. Rick continues visiting old friends such as Ezekiel and Michonne, assuring everything and everyone will be present for the fair. With the big community they've built, they decided to create an event where everyone from the different settlements would come together for this big fair in Alexandria. Hilltop's problem right now is deciding what they're going to do to Gregory after his little coup attempt. And going against Rick's new philosophy, Maggie decides for the death penalty. In Alexandria, Negan receives a nice shower and a makeover, but Denise accidentally leaves his cell unlocked. On the way back, Rick meets with Dwight, the current leader of the Saviors, who expresses his desire to renounce this position, calling for an election. When Rick arrives and checks on his prisoner, he is shocked to see the cell door open. But even more shocking, Negan is just sitting there and waiting. Negan sees this as an opportunity to build trust between them, so that maybe one day he could be released. But Rick doesn't buy into it, and just furiously locks him up. As he leaves, Negan implies that the only reason Rick keeps him there is because it's the only thing he has to convince himself he's a good person, telling him to remember that when he screams at the lady who let his cage open. Rick and Andrea discuss once again whether Negan should be a prisoner or should be killed for what he's done. He convinces her once again of what this act symbolizes for the future. On the other side of the argument, we see Maggie hanging Gregory, but ushering this to be the last time they have to kill someone, showing us that these decisions don't thread through black and white, instead through a very gray and difficult medium. A very good example of how humans will always struggle to find the perfect form of punishment for every wrongdoer, and it is okay to have different opinions and takes as long as it's all in good faith for a better future. In the extreme opposite side of things, we learn more of the Whisperer way of life. Alpha preaches embracing our animalistic behaviors, removing the need for names and most human constructs we have developed through centuries, removing the necessity for rules, being truly one with nature and the new dominant animal, the undead. They even eat side by side with zombies, feasting on the raw flesh and guts of whatever animal was so unfortunate to have been caught by them. What really bothers Carl is the, let's say, freedom when it comes to sexual behavior, and what Lydia has had to endure whilst her mother just allowed. The day finally arrives, people from all communities in one big event, socializing, trading, and having fun. As per usual, this is normally when things go wrong, and in this case, it's Maggie informing Rick of the disappearance of his son, as well as this new zombie skin threat. He immediately calls Andrea, saddles up, and goes to find him, bumping into Michonne on the way, who decides to tag along. But at the same time, we see that Alpha has snuck her way into the fair. As Dante explains what he knows about the Whisperers, "Your son is quite a handful. You talk aloud without any concern for who may be listening. You are in no position to threaten me. I will take you and only you to your son. The rest of your group will stay here, under our watch." At their camp, Rick tries to plan an escape, but Carl says he won't go because Lydia won't, and he's not leaving her. He is a product of this messed up world, and unlike anyone else, she can actually look at him and truly see him for who he is. Rick understands and simply apologizes. Alpha returns and makes it clear she's in control and wants to take Rick somewhere. At the top of this building, she shows him a herd like nothing he has ever seen before, just sitting there, with members of their group amongst the dead, steering and directing them, essentially telling him what she'll do if they ever cross into their territory again. On their way back, she continues to expose her vision of how we're all animals who pretend we aren't, and this apocalypse has given us the gift of being free once again. You work and toil your days away, working towards restoring a life where you exercise so you can sit in a chair and let a box slide to you until all your thoughts are gone, she says, claiming their way of life is the way it was always meant to be lived. Back at camp, after a discussion over what Alpha allowed men to do to her daughter, she decides Lydia is too weak to walk amongst them, allowing her to go with Rick, and also that she has marked the border, threatening to release her horde if they were ever to cross it. Rick doesn't find Andrea where he left them, and shortly after finds this so-called marking of the border. On one side we have Negan, a violent, cruel, oppressive, slightly sadistic man who only speaks in profanity, but deep inside still has some humanity, and even after years of extremely bad behavior, still maintains some morals, who care for the survival of his people, even if at the cost of others. Someone who was changed by Rick's vision, and ever since his incarceration has turned into just a loudmouth asshole, unlike the once evil villain he was. On the other hand, we have the ones who see the apocalypse as a way for us to revert to literal animal behaviors and completely come down with the old societal constructs, fully embracing this new apocalyptic nature, even when shown the possibility of the resurgence of old society. There's a pattern that stands out to me. The people who manage to survive this long are either very dark and morally complex individuals, or are just those whose worst trait is to follow and be complacent to whatever twisted things those who are decide to do. During the war, Negan's side wasn't the only one who were brutal, who killed, and did horrible acts for their prosperity, showing us that good things aren't just built on kind acts and good ideologies. I've been trying to show throughout this story the parallels between these characters and real-life people, ultimately exposing how much bad there is in our world. But at this point, it is clear to me that just like how Rick and his people are extremely dark and do inexplicable things, it doesn't mean all type of bad is truly evil. As we see the beginning of the resurgence of societal structures, it also brings back small things like bullying, politics, currencies, and slight inequality between the members of a community, something that will start to become another big challenge to face. However, there are still some bad and crazy individuals in this world like the Whisperers that still need to be dealt with. Things I will cover in the next episode. The finality of my deep dive of exposing the true human nature and the analysis of it through these books. I will finally connect all the dots and give my full conclusion of the true human nature hidden in the story of The Walking Dead.